Welcome back to the Astrocast videos in outer space. Anyways, thanks for joining, guys. I'm Rue, host of the Astrocast podcast. It's a weekly hour-long deep dive discussion to all things astronomy and astrophotography. But I'm here today because I just thought I would share a couple of cool things, little kind of cheap hacks that I have found over my time doing astrophotography that I just wanted to share with you in case they might be helpful. So one of the most painful things, for whatever reason, for people to deal with in astrophotography is taking their flats. Flats are calibration frames that we use to remove dust spots that are on the sensor, as well as help with things like vignetting. Sometimes if you are lucky and you have really clean glass and a clean sensor, you can get away with not using flats. But that being said, there is absolutely nothing worse than taking a whole night's worth of data, not taking flats, and then bringing that into PixInsight only to find out that there's a giant dust spot right in the middle of your nebula that you can't get rid of. So it was something early on that I wanted to find an easier way to do, because what I was doing is I was basically unlocking the right ascension and declination clutch on my mount. I was tilting it skyward so it was pointing straight up in the sky, and then I would set a tablet with a white picture as the thing on the screen, turn down the brightness, and then let it auto take flats in the ASI air. A couple of times while doing that, since I had a metal cap on my SV Bony 80mm telescope, the tablet actually slid right off the glass. Actually, I have a crack in my iPad right down the middle of the screen because of that specifically. So I knew I needed to find a better way to go about taking my flats. And I also had a situation where I own the ASI 294 MC Pro astronomy camera, and that particular model has a little bit of a weird quirk where you need to take longer in terms of time flats than you would with something like a 2600. So being that you need to take a longer flat, that means that you need an even dimmer screen for it to expose long enough to get where you need to be in that range of the histogram. So what I found for my solution ultimately, after trying a lot of different things, is this. So this is it's a sewing circle or an embroidery circle that you can get at your local hobby store like Michael's or Hobby Lobby, and these are dirt cheap. You can find them for less than $1. And all it is basically is two circles of wood or plastic. Shoot, one of my lights just died. Hang on, let me see if I can. All right, that'll work for now. Anyway, so this is two circles of wood or plastic, depending on what kind that you get, that sit within one another. So if you look closely, see if I can get focus. Well, might not focus super well, but there's a line right here. And if you loosen up this screw right here, it basically frees it up to where you can separate the two circles. And what you want to do is, while you're in that hobby store, go pick yourself up a pack of soft white cotton fabric. You can just get what they call a sample size pack that's just a couple of feet of the fabric, 1 yard, if I remember correctly. And then what you can do is you can basically take that fabric, set up your telescope, and then I want you to fold the fabric over until you've got it folded over enough times to where when you set a tablet or a light source that is even and flat on top of it, you get that correct, halfway histogram exposure that you're looking for. Now, once you know how many layers that is, what you want to do is take that same number of layers and you basically want to insert it inside the ring. So this is a plastic one, but it's exactly the same as this wooden one. I bought two just to see which one I liked better. And basically what I did was I loosened this up, take the circle out, and then you literally just put the fabric through the circle on top of it, like you're laying it on top, and then you insert this one on top, and you know it's going to be tight. Obviously, you want it to be tight because you want the fabric to end up stretched very tightly. You can see there's one little wrinkle down there. It drives me nuts, but doesn't impact the flats. And after you've got that, basically go around and pull on the fabric until it's nice and tight all the way across, and you've got a really flat piece of fabric there. And then you can tighten this screw down, and then you can just simply take a razor blade or scissors, whatever you prefer. I could probably do a better job trimming this, but it works perfectly fine, so I don't care. And this is actually the perfect size to fit on an 80mm telescope, and I can use it for all my camera lenses as well. And it also is a lot less of a slick surface than metal on glass. So now if I point my scope directly up at the night sky, set this on top, and then a tablet on top, it's not going to slide around and end up with a giant crack. So like I say, you can get everything that you need to make for this for less than $5 at Walmart, Hobby Lobby, Michael's, whatever your local hobby store is. And it really has been a game changer for me. I always take my flats now. I get them all done very, very quickly, and I'm always guaranteed to have great images because of it. So thanks so much for watching. Clear skies.